Brian Corley, for taking this topical issue, because I believe it's very important. Minister, as you know, the credit unions have been around since the 1960s, and there's over 354 credit unions right across the country at this stage. Less credit unions have been bailed out through the financial crisis than banks in this country. And currently, the credit unions have €8.5 billion on deposit with the banks, which they are not allowed to lend out by government policy. And this is providing liquidity for the banks, but giving a very low return to credit unions and their members. Minister, when the housing strategy was launched, you stated that the Minister Kelly stated that the funding of the housing programme will require the development of innovative funding mechanisms that do not increase the general government debt. Well, Minister, on your desk is an innovative funding mechanism from the credit union movement, representing millions of people right across the country, with funds that they are ready, willing and able to invest and achieve a return for their members. The credit unions have said that they could invest up to €2 billion in a special purpose vehicle that could lend money on to local authorities or approved housing bodies, whichever the state would require. And this would go a long way to help solving the housing crisis. It would also provide the credit unions and their members with a better return on the investments that they have, and it would ultimately assist people who are already members of credit unions and assist ordinary citizens right across the country, and that would lead to ease in this crisis, a crisis I believe has been developed through a lack of government policy, and it's a deliberate crisis rather than a crisis that has happened because of something that we have no control over. I think this is part of the solution. I think this is something that should be addressed urgently within the department, and I would urge the Minister to be back in contact with the Irish League of Credit Unions, create that dialogue and make this happen very quickly.
Thank you, Deputy.